Hello everyone. Today we are starting misidentification of cell line. Before going to start the point, we'll see what we have learned in last lecture. So we have learned about the cell line, what is cell line, what are the types of cell lines, then examples of cell line and guideline frame for the cell line. So we are starting now misidentification of cell line. Misidentification means what? So misidentification is nothing but result of your cross contamination. So cross contamination is example of continuous cell line. Okay, it is a type continuous cell line culture. It is a type of a cell culture, right? So this is the example of your cross contamination because you are continuously cell line passaging, continuously cell line subculturing. So there is a chances of mutation, there is a high risk of mutation. Due to this mutation, cross contamination will create and it will affect on your culture and form misidentified cells. So let's see the factors responsible for the misidentification. Basically those factors are responsible for the cross contamination are also responsible for the misidentification because misidentification is result of your cross contamination. So we'll see one by one. First is alteration in cellular behavior or morphological variations. So morphological behavior also get changed and their structure also get changes. Whichever biological process are there, that also get changed and their structure also get changed. Cellular properties, characteristics also get changed. Next is developing two cell lines in mesenchymal stem cells simultaneously. In mesenchymal stem cell, if you are performing two cell lines at one time, so it can also create cross contamination. At only one time you can develop one single cell line, not two, because two cells can create cross contamination. Third one, failure in maintaining good cell culture practices. If you are performing cell culture, if you are developing the cell line, you have to maintain the proper cell culture practices. From the equipment which you are using, instrument that you are using, from that you have to use proper working instruments. Next, liquefying the wrong ampules. Okay, so ampule means what? These are the small containers, small glass bottles in that we are storing our cell lines. Okay, so those are wrong ampules are there, you have to wash them or you have to liquefy them and sterilize them. Next is mislabeling a flask or a ampules. So that ampules in that we have stored our cell lines, you have to label correctly because mislabeled flask or an ampule can create cross contamination. Okay, sixth one, persistence of the mitotic activity of a feeder cells such as embryonic stem cells because of insufficient radiation or a treatment with mitomycin C. So this embryonic stem cells act as a feeder cells, they feeding to cells. Okay, so persistence in this mitotic activity, they get stick to this mitotic activity. These feeder cells get stick to this mitotic activity due to insufficient irradiation or a treatment with this mitomycin C. Understood? So next, poorly controlled manipulation. Manipulation means what? Maybe handling with hand or handling with like mechanical manners. So this handling with hand and mechanical manners is poorly controlled. Okay, they are not well controlled, so it may also create an cross contamination. Second one is what? Unintended transfer of cells to a stock bottle of a medium. So when you are transferring cells without any planning in the stock bottle or media, it can also create cross contamination. Unintended means what? Without any planning, you are transferring the cells into stock bottle medium. So it can create cross contamination. Third one, using unsterilized medium. See here, for the plant cells having with the cell wall, right? So you can sterilize this plant cell with heat. But in case of animal cell culture, animal cell is critical because here absence of cell wall, right? So due to this, you have to handle carefully. You can't heat them. So for the sterilization purpose, we are using different filters to remove the cells. Understood? Next, see here this picture, misidentification of cell line. These all blue cells are non-contaminated cell lines or correct cell lines, but these two are incorrect cell line or misidentified cell line. Okay, now how can you separate this misidentified incorrect cell line from correct cell line? So there are different tests and methods are there that we'll see. So how to correctly identify the cell lines? As I told, there are different tests and methods are there to identify the cells or cell lines. So first is karyotyping. In karyotyping, this is chromosomal analysis. We are studying the chromosomal structures. Okay, in multilocus DNA fingerprinting analysis, here by using the DNA profiling technique or by using DNA fingerprinting analysis, we are going to perform the identification of cell lines. Next, isoenzyme analysis. As I told, isoenzyme, by using the one enzymes and their different forms, you can analyze the cell line or identify the cell line. Analysis of cell cycle through tritiated thymidine pulse method. Okay, this is the content of your DNA. So through this you can identify the cell line. Basically these four methods or tests that we are using for the cell identification, same methods we are using for the cell determination and molecules determination. Okay, why do we need cell line identification? Why there is a need to identify cell line or a cell identification? Okay, misidentification in cultures. See, when you are performing the cell culture, it means not there is a single type of a cell line in that culture. Okay, there may be correct cell line also presence and presence of incorrect or misidentified cell in culture. So you have to separate that misidentified cell, incorrect cells from the correct cells. So how? By using this four methods. Obviously misidentification is result of your cross contamination. So cell line cross contamination, it is occur due to single type of a cell line. When you are using for the cell line, there is a less chances of cross contamination, but two types of cell line when you are using at one time for one cell line culturing, so it can create cross contamination. So we are calling it as a cell line cross contamination or CLCC. Next is continuous cell line culture. So continuous cell line culture, it means what? There is a prolonged growth of your cell culture or cell lines. Next, to avoid misidentification, here in continuous cell line culture, due to continuously passaging or subculturing, here high risk of mutation. So that high risk of mutation can create cross contamination. So you have to check this also. So to avoid misidentification, what we can do, we have to control the quality, whichever quality practices or factors we have learned to maintain or to minimize the cross contamination or to minimize the misidentification of the cell lines in a culture. So if you minimize the misidentified cells in a culture, you can obtain correct cell line. So you have to control the quality by addressing this issue. Next, we'll see cross contamination. Now we'll see karyotyping. This karyotyping is also called as examination of strained chromosome. In this, we are staining the chromosomes, and by staining we are performing or examining the structure of chromosomes. This karyotyping also called as what? Chromosomal analysis. So is a traditional test for the cell line identification that is performed routinely by some cell repositories to determine whether the genotype of a cell line is stable or not. Okay, to study the genotypic structure, whether the genotype or a cell line and their genotype is stable or not, to determine this, basically this karyotyping technique is used. Karyotyping, from what cell you can perform the karyotyping? So some examples: karyotypes can be taken from blood cells, fetal skin cells, from amniotic fluid or the placenta, or it may from bone marrow cells. See here, these are the 23 pairs of chromosome. This is the blue and pink. This is the first pair, this is second pair, this is third pair. Like this pair, these are all are 23 pairs of chromosome. This 1 to 22, these are all autosomal chromosomes, and these two are 23rd pair. These two are sex chromosome, XY for male and XX for female. Okay, this or this, 22 and 23, 22 and 23, this or this will determine the sex of particular person. Next, so steps involved in karyotyping test. So first is sample collection. You have to collect, before going to start the karyotyping test, you have to collect the sample from the hospital or from the patient. Okay. Next, transport to the laboratory. After collecting that sample, you have to transport to the laboratories for the study. Next, separating the cells. Okay, as you are using the sample, there is not presence of single cells, because animal, it is made up of what? Multiple or multi cells. It is a complex, right? No, so you have to separate the cells. Next, you can separate the cells from other cells and isolate single type of a cell, so that isolated cells you can grow in a lab. So next, after isolation, you have to grow the cells. Next, synchronizing the cells. After that, synchronizing the cells means what? So when cell undergoes cell division process, at that time, in this condition, you can arrest the cells. It means where the condensed form of chromosomes are present, in that condensed form of chromosome you can arrest the cell division process. Okay, basically metaphase. In metaphase, all chromosomes we are arresting by synchronization method. Okay, next, releasing the chromosomes from their cells. So after arresting that cells, you have to remove chromosomes from the cells. So there are different methods to remove the chromosomes from the cells. Next, after removing, you have to stain the chromosomes, because until you remove the chromosomes and stain them, you can't see the or study the structure of chromosome. Karyotyping is nothing but study of chromosomes. So without staining, you cannot see the chromosomes. Okay, next, after staining, you have to analyze. So how you are going to analyze? So microscopic analysis you can perform. Staining the cells, after that microscopic observation. Next is counting chromosomes. Counting, how you can count the chromosomes? You can count the chromosome by using what? Hemocytometer, as you are using counting chamber for the cell counting. Like that way, you are using the same instruments for this counting chromosome. Next, sorting of chromosomes, and finally result of your karyotyping, which we are going to conclude on the basis of this microscopic analysis and counting the chromosome. Why there is need of counting the chromosomes? Because particular person is, see, for example, human having with what? 23 pairs of chromosomes, right? If extra chromosome is present, there is a chromosome abnormalities. It means presence of extra chromosome in genome or presence of double chromosomes in genome, or there may be deletion of one chromosomes from the genome. So these are the all chromosomal abnormalities, right? So on that basis you can identify the symptoms also and diseases also. So if 46, instead of a 46 chromosome, if extra chromosome is present, it will create Down syndrome. So on the basis of this structure and counting of chromosome, you can determine the disease